In a world full of noise, distractions, and endless input, the truth that your beliefs shape your reality stands as a quiet, powerful anchor. And yet it feels strange to accept that. It's easy to see success, joy, love, and freedom manifesting in the lives of others. But when you look in the mirror, why does it seem so unreachable? You might even find yourself thinking, I don't deserve it, I haven't earned it. I'm broken, weak, stuck. And every time you feel that way, you lock yourself further into that loop, spiraling deeper into a mindset that only confirms what you believe to be true. So what if I told you this cycle is a lie? A story you've been telling yourself that has absolutely no foundation. That the very thoughts keeping you stuck are the ones that you're consciously or unconsciously accepting as though they're facts, but they're not. They're merely feedback. And every piece of feedback, no matter how painful, is a tool to help you evolve, to help you grow. When you start to reframe your perspective, to ask yourself new questions, is this belief true? Does this belief help me create the life I want? You disrupt the old, worn-out pattern, and suddenly your mind opens. You create space. You invite the possibility of a new reality. One where you deserve to be happy, relaxed, and joyful. One where you can have access to success, abundance, and love without the constant edge of fear. But why is this hard? Why does it feel unnatural? It's because your mind is wired for survival, not for thriving. It's been trained through experiences, through repetition of thoughts and emotions, to expect struggle. It learned to expect pain, disappointment, and heartache. Because that's the story you've built for yourself. The truth is, your body and mind, they've been conditioned by trauma, by unhealed emotional wounds, by deep-rooted beliefs they are not enough. But guess what? None of this is real, except in your mind. The more you lean into the narrative that life is hard, that you're unworthy, the more your body produces chemicals and hormones that reinforce that belief. It's a feedback loop. The body follows the mind, and the mind follows the body. But hold on. What if you flipped that? What if instead of succumbing to the belief that I'm broken, you start to say, I'm enough, I'm worthy? What if you could shift your focus right here, right now, to the infinite potential that exists within you? Because that's where the real change happens. Think about this for a second. When you start acting from a place of self-worth, from a place of love for yourself, the universe responds in kind. The mirror that's reality reflects back to the energy that you project. You get back what you put out. That's the law. When you operate from a state of abundance, you attract more abundance. When you operate from a place of love and forgiveness, the world mirrors that same energy. This isn't just some spiritual woo-woo nonsense. This is backed by science. Let's dive deeper. Why does this work? Neuroplasticity. Your brain is constantly rewiring itself based on the inputs it receives. When you introduce new beliefs, beliefs that serve you rather than trap you, you begin to create new neural pathways. This is how you reprogram your mind. Your thoughts literally change the structure of your brain. It's not magic. It's neurobiology. Now let's turn this around. How do you do this in practice? How do you go from feeling trapped in your own emotional turmoil to feeling powerful, confident, free? How do you stop seeing the world as a place of struggle and start seeing it as a playground of endless opportunities? Here's where the magic happens. And it's more simple than you think. You start with small victories. You interrupt the old patterns, the ones that keep you stuck. You take a small step towards confidence, one small step toward joy, one small step toward forgiveness. And here's the trick. The brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined. That's why visualizing success works. That's why affirmations work. When you truly believe something's possible for you, your mind and body, they'll find a way to make it happen. Take this as an example. You feel fear, right? Fear of failure, of being let down. That's a deeply ingrained response. But what if, instead of avoiding it, you run straight into the fear? What if you saw that fear as your ally, showing you where to go next? Every time you face that fear, it weakens. Fear is just an emotion you can master, shift, and use as fuel. And when you face that fear, you do it with confidence. Not because you know exactly how things will turn out, but because you believe deep down that you deserve the best. You deserve to be happy, confident, and at peace. You've earned the right to enjoy this life. Now ask yourself, what happens if you don't do this? What happens if you continue to believe that life is hard, that you're unworthy? Well, you stay stuck. You keep replaying the same patterns over and over, expecting the same result. And the universe, it has no choice but to mirror that. That's karma. That's cause and effect. It's self-fulfilling prophecy. But when you flip the script, when you actively choose the path of ease, when you embrace success, when you open yourself to love, to joy, everything changes. You break the cycle. Here's the kicker. It's not just about big, life-changing actions. It's in the small things, the daily habits. It's in the way you speak to yourself, how you respond to setbacks, how you look at challenges and ask yourself, what lesson is here for me? You learn to see failure not as a stop sign, but as a stepping stone. You become curious about the world, adaptable to its changes, and playful with life's mysteries. And that's where your true power lies. It's easy to sit back and to wait for things to get better. But that's not how it works. The world isn't waiting for you to deserve success. You create it by believing in yourself, by acting on the beliefs, and by forgiving yourself every single time you fall short. Because falling short is part of the game of life. The truth is, you've been playing too small. You've been keeping yourself safe in the prison of your own limitations. But here's the deal. That's not the truth about you. The truth is, you're limitless. You've everything you need right now. And all it takes is choosing to see it. So stop waiting for life to happen to you. Make it happen. You're ready. The universe is ready. The only question is, are you ready to fully claim your power? And just remember, every time you take that step, even when it feels small, your entire life shifts. You're no longer waiting for permission. You're creating it all. You're worthy. You're enough. Don't you dare forget it.